What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to go over 3 reasons we should be excited for Marvel's Avengers. Now, I'm going to link it in the description below. I made another video a few weeks back talking about my concerns for Avengers. It did really good, way better than I ever could have imagined it doing. So I do want to thank all of you guys that supported that video, or if you guys maybe stumbled along that video and now you guys are with us, welcome. You guys truly, truly rock. I greatly appreciate your support. I think it's important to watch that. I'm not trying to be like a hypocrite. I'm not trying to kind of, make one video one way and the one the other and completely undo everything I said, because everything I said in that video, I still 1000% believe and I still am worried about. But I'm an optimistic guy. I want to talk about the positives, and so let's do that. Let's talk about 3 things that are kind of on the opposite scale. We talked about what I am not looking forward to, basically, what makes me very, very concerned, very, very worried. But there are some things that has me excited. Now, taking with a grain of salt all these things, honestly do that, because they're all possibilities, and I do want to make that very clear, and I'm probably going to repeat that kind of statement in all of them. The first one is the possibility of the fighting, okay, the dynamic fighting. Now, again, I feel like all of these positives are going to have mixes of negatives. If you guys don't like that, I'm terribly sorry. I truly am sorry, but I'm going to do it anyway. It truly just is my style. I like the fighting. I don't love the fighting. I don't hate the fighting. It's solid. And I believe I said that in the concern video. I think what they have is solid. And I will say, some of it I really, really do like. I like the idea of playing as these different characters. I like them being pretty unique in their own right. I like them having these special abilities. And overall, just the combat that we've seen. And I think we've seen a fair amount, right? We've seen some Captain America stuff in the beginning. We've seen how pretty much everybody is fundamentally, even Miss Marvel, fundamentally how they're going to work. We've seen Black Widow, right? We've seen that boss fight. We've seen Hulk. We've seen Thor. We've seen these characters. So we kind of know from the gameplay what to expect. Now, hopefully there's more to it. Hopefully it gets deeper. Hopefully there is progression. And they've talked about it. So I guess the hopefully part is that hopefully it all comes together in the way that we want, and it's really enjoyable. So again, I get that this is kind of being bogged down by hope, and we still don't know. Ultimately, with a game that's still quite a while out, not necessarily quite in the grand scheme of things, it's very close, but it's still got several months to go, right? And I still am worried about it, so that does make its way into this. But let me tell you, I like the combat. I don't think it looks bad. I think it's a good base point. And I don't think at the end of the day, when we're done playing it, if the game is a complete disappointment, I don't think combat is going to be the first thing I jump to saying that this is the primary reason, okay? There are other things, and I think there's actually many things that would surpass the combat. And again, I think the combat looks solid, and I'm excited to play it because I hope that it's going to be rewarding, that there's going to be things that are that's dynamic, right? That's constantly changing. I think, again, playing as different characters and having different weapons, having different armor, and because, again, they have gone kind of down that path, doing that kind of stuff, I do feel like can help, and I hope it helps, and I want the combat to be good. I kind of go back and forth with how much I feel that combat really makes a game. I feel like there's some games that it's pretty much all of it. If the combat sucks, the game is going to fundamentally break. And I do understand there is an argument to be made that literally how the game operates, the gameplay, is the primary thing that's going to drive your game. However, I do think some games can get away with it. I think some games can still kind of live and survive. The Last Guardian being maybe a good example, where the game is good, the gameplay is absolutely awful. And I feel like that game still kind of survived, maybe not the greatest, but it did because of that. So for Marvel's Avengers, the combat needs to be good. I don't think you can go along an entire game like this with the combat sucking, but I'm hoping that it's going to be good, and that's a reason why I think I'm excited about this game, is I want to see what they can do with the combat. The second thing is the casting characters, and again, this is kind of iffy, because we know the core, we know the baseline story, which the story is going to be the third thing, so I'm going to get into that a little bit later. But we know who we're working with, right? We know we know which characters we're going to be playing as. However, they're going to be introducing new characters through DLC, free DLC, I should say, which is a positive. That's absolutely a positive. I don't want to get people confused with that. I'm a fan of that. I like that. So there are going to be more characters, and that's cool too. That's also, honestly, a reason to be excited. While it is a concern of mine that the game won't feel fundamentally finished like a full package deal at launch, and maybe we'll need DLCs to complete it. And I did say that in the last video, and some people got upset, and I understand it. And we can all have our own opinions. It's totally cool to have our own opinions, and I definitely promote thinking on your own. Absolutely. So if you don't want to follow what I'm thinking, that's totally cool. I honestly have no problems with that. But on the flip side, because to be honest, it's weird that you can have a flip to this, is I'm kind of excited for that. Does that make me hypocritical? I feel like it kind of does, but like in a different way. I don't like the fact that if I buy a $60 game, I'm not getting the full game. So I don't like that. But on the flip side, the fact that I am getting this day one, and I've like confirmed that to myself, like I know I'm going to do it. I want to give this game all the chances in the world. I want to support it. I will probably be excited when they add new story missions and new characters that we haven't even seen yet. New voice, and that's another part. The voice acting is having Nolan North and Troy Baker in your game again, as they've done for so many games in the past, you can't really have it any better than that. But no, honestly, the characters seem solid, at least solid, if not going to be really good. I have a lot of confidence in all the voice actors that they have in this, and the potential for future characters and things that we haven't seen yet. Honestly, is it is probably, in my opinion, the thing I'm most excited for when it comes to this game. And the thing is, this goes to number 3, which is the story. There's a lot of unknowns. And again, honestly, number 2 and number 3 mix well together for me, because I think a lot of the positives of this game is the unknown, is us not really knowing. We don't know who these DLC characters could be. We don't know where the story is going to go. There is a lot of speculation. There's a lot of people thinking that Captain America will come back. I fully believe that, too. I'm in the camp that you don't really develop a character like that. You don't give him all of his own combat stuff to then eliminate him 5 minutes into the game, and then you just don't play it as him ever again. I guess you could say that's been done. Like even in The Last of Us, you play as Sarah for like the first 10 minutes, so you have to do all that kind of stuff to eliminate her. But that's part of the story. But then how much do they use of her and Ellie when they were like animating and doing all this stuff, and like code and all that kind of stuff? So, I mean, you can find reverse examples and stuff like that. But again, it just goes to a larger point. I think that the story has a lot of potential. That's the biggest, again, to me, that is the biggest thing. That's the biggest reason why I'm excited for it. Because what's interesting, again, going more pessimistic, is I am concerned about so much because what we've seen hasn't been the greatest. And what's funny about that is it's a weird way of thinking. It's me honestly giving it as much of a chance as I can. And again, it's just my opinion that I'm saying what I've seen hasn't been all that great. That's just me. If you guys don't agree, that's you. That's fine. But what's funny about it is what I've seen, I don't necessarily like, okay? It's okay. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but it's like, okay. Now, what's funny about it is on the reverse side, I'm excited. I'm immensely excited. And the thing I'm excited most for is all the stuff we haven't seen. Where does the story go? Where do these characters go? What's going to happen to them? Where's the DLC taking us? That kind of stuff. I feel like that could be easily the best part of the game. Again, if this game is going to succeed, I feel like it's going to succeed around a really good story. I truly do. I truly do believe that would be, like when I'm done playing it, if I'm going to point out the pros, I'm hoping that I'm going to point out that the story and characters are very good, and at least they did that right. Truly, that's like how I'm kind of embracing it. And again, I'm trying to go in with a clean slate. I want to give it all the chances. I mean, if I didn't have this channel, I wouldn't watch anything else from now on because I don't want to be more disappointed. I would just go into the game, try and forget the stuff that I've seen that I don't necessarily like, and then just play it and make my own assessment from that. But because of the channel, because I have an obligation to you guys, to myself, as a livelihood as well, I need to do this. And it's not, but it's also something, I mean, flat out, I want to do this. I love talking about this game in particular. So I am excited. There are definitely things to be excited about. A lot of it is the story and characters, though. It's going to, in my opinion, it'll live or die on how interesting are these characters are. I guess. And then the next thing I was about to say is how fun are they to play? That is literally number 2. So while I guess the first thing I said was the gameplay, in reality, number 2 and 3, the characters and the story, that's the most important. Are they going to make me care about these characters? Are they going to be cool? Is the story going to be good? Who are they going to introduce down the line? Are there villains that we don't know about yet, right? Like that's the same thing. Villains are characters, so that's included as well. That's the first part. And then the second part is, are they fun to play? Because if Thor is a cool character and I like what they do with his story, but then like he's just so like his gameplay, how he works is just so bad. And I'm just saying that I don't know that, and I'm not judging even what I've seen on him on that. But say that's the case, that sucks. And will that destroy that character? Will that destroy the game? I don't know. Ultimately, we have to play the game to find out, right? But I'm hoping that those two things work together because, again, like the gameplay is a big part. If, again, same thing, Thor, Iron Man, any of these characters, they can be great, but also the reverse, Kevin. Maybe the characters, maybe the story is just not very good, but man, Iron Man, because we've seen that, right, in different games where it's like, oh, this gameplay segment is absolutely amazing. Too bad all this other stuff happened. Maybe it's like that. Maybe these Iron Man parts are like, oh my dear God, it's amazing. Too bad there weren't that many of them, or too bad the character doesn't really go anywhere, or too bad they don't use him. You know, whatever the too bad thing is. If that happens, that sucks. So there are plenty of reasons to be concerned. We made a video on that. There's plenty of reasons to be excited, and I like to talk about both. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? What are some things you're excited? Because, and I only listed a couple, so what are you guys excited about? What are some of the things you guys are anticipating with this game? Are you guys concerned as well? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know anything you guys want me to talk about Marvel's Avengers related. You guys seem to really like these videos. I love making them. I will absolutely continue making them. So make sure you guys let me know what you want to hear me talk about on this channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed and have that bell icon rung so you guys know when these videos go up. We do new videos every single day, 2 to 3 videos a day. So make sure you do have that bell rung so you know when these Avengers videos or any videos of ours release. Thank you all so much for watching. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Keep safe. Keep calm with all this stuff going on in the world. You guys, we can all handle it. We're all going to make it out together. And I hope to see you all on the next video.